there's a couple of different ways we can do it. We can play with a low knee shield, we can play with like a high knee shield. Oh, it really comes down to preference. I like to play with a high knee shield. What we're going to do first is we're just going to set up the Kimura Trap. So basically, Andrew is looking to maybe like get chest to chest connection. The first thing I want to do is like kind of block him here with my knee, and my left hand is really important. So I bring my left hand inside and I bring my right hand inside. So this kind of gripping is really important for me to get control of Andrew's left arm. So if you remember like the way you'd learn Kimuras on day one, it's kind of like you sit up, you reach for the arm, you lock it, and then it doesn't really work in real life against anyone that's good. All right, so we keep the foot on the hip, left hand goes on the trap or the shoulder, right hand goes inside, and then I pass off my left hand to my left knee here, and I push Andrew's head in the opposite direction. I connect, say, his tricep to my chest, free my right hand, and then all we do is lock up the Kimura from here. We'll talk about leg position and all that in a couple of minutes. So let's just work on the grip fighting and the setup from here. So high knee shield, blocking the far shoulder. I bring my left hand inside. Andrew's trying to be aggressive, maybe in his crossface. We block, cup the arm, and then I'm just going to pass off with his left arm to my left knee here. And you see I'm keeping the tricep glued to my chest, pulling my left hand in, free my right hand, and then we lock up our Kimura. When I'm here, Andrew's he wants connection, so this works better when someone's trying to pressure you. All right, so because he's leading with his upper body, where if Andrew's kind of backing up, this is where I can start going under legs for leg lock sweeps and so on. So Andrew's actually trying to pressure me. So if I just stay here with this frame, sometimes it can be hard to keep it. So Andrew could just like kind of crush this frame a little bit here. All right, we probably exaggerated that a little bit too much, but if you just drop your right shoulder and try to crush it here. So I use like self-framing, or I reinforce my frame here. So now if he tries to crush it, it's a lot harder. Then I just put my forearm into his trap, and then I just punch this underhook here. So I have like kind of 3 points of contact. So I have my left knee, my left hand's acting as a frame, and I have an underhook, so I have connection. It's hard for him to back out. What I want to do is I start to push with my hand, and then I replace, say, my left arm with my left knee, and I drive his head away here. And then once I drive his head away, I push his head down. Once his head goes down, I move my head, say, away from his body. So I can either lock up the Kimura now, or I can move the head away from the body. That creates space to put the foot in, and then we can lock the Kimura up then. So it's up to you. You can lock the Kimura up first, or you can lock it up when you move your head away and then you get your hand in. So one more time. So we reinforce that top frame, left hand in position, we punch an underhook. So your checklist is left knee, left hand, right underhook. If Andrew tries to pull away, this should be hard. Not impossible, but it should be hard. So I start pushing with my left hand, and I replace that with my left knee. I push his head away, then I push his head down. I keep connection with my knee on, say, Andrew's back. I pummel my foot inside, I move my head away, and then we lock up our Kimura. Again, so we're using this high knee shield, reinforcing the frame. I managed to get my underhook, moving Andrew's head away. As soon as I move his head away, I really want to glue his arm to my chest. All right, so if you want to buy yourself more time and just have more control, just kind of cup with 2 hands here. And I can pummel my leg inside. Depending on what way Andrew reacts now, like say if Andrew keeps his arm straight, I'm just going to go into like the Choi Bar. So basically that's where I grab the thumb. I'm locking a triangle here with my left leg's going behind my right knee, and then all I'm looking to do is just bring the arm into my hip, take my hips up, and I pull to get the tap. So that's one finish if he goes with a straight arm. Another reaction you're going to get is when I come to here, Andrew's going to try bring his left hand to his right hand to lock it here. If he does this is obviously where we're going to go into Kimura. So you lock up the Kimura, we want more control, so glue it to our chest. I move my head away to create space. I put my left foot on his hip, so Andrew has a really tight grip. I'm going to take out my right leg, and I put my right foot on his quad or in around his hip here. And I pinch my knees, I move my head backwards, and this should allow me to break the grip here. And then once this happens, we go into our Kimura finish. All right, so we'll just run through that one more time. So again, same setup here, wrapping the arm with 2 arms, pushing the head away, putting my foot on his hip. If I find that he's locking his hands, we lock up the Kimura, I glue the elbow to my chest, I move my head away to create space, I put the second foot on the hip or just around the quad here. Pinch my knees, keep the connection with the elbow again, and then all I can do is just like pull to break the grip, and then we can go into our Kimura finish, alright? So we're just going to touch on the Choi Bar. There's loads of different leg positions you can have, and there's loads of different kind of like finishes you can use on the Choi Bar. We're just gonna use one that works really well when you're attacking the Kimura. So again, exact same setup. So I use my left knee to push Andrew's head away. You can see him keep my head glued to his wrist as well. I move my head away when I want to create space. This example, say Andrew doesn't lock his hands. So I'm just basically just triangling my legs here. So my left foot goes behind my right knee, and I'm just passing Andrew's arm off to my top hand. So I'm gripping the thumb like we're nearly doing an arm wrestle. So the crease of his elbow is facing away from my hips, all right? I'm pulling the slack out of the arm and I'm pulling into my hip. Now what I want is, here I can get a decent finish. So like if there's decent kind of power on the finish, but what I want to do is I want to get my hips higher than Andrew's shoulders. So the way I do this is I retract my elbow, and it's like I'm doing a side plank here. I build, and then I'm just going to pull the arm into the top hip here to get a tighter finish. Whereas if I'm lower, Andrew can like wiggle his arm, he can move, and there's kind of, I suppose, more range of motion for him. So retract your elbow, like we're doing a side plank, we raise our hips, and like I'm using the arm wrestle grip, so thumb to thumb, I pull this arm into my left hip. All right, so we'll do one last time. So again, so left knee, left frame, right hand, push the head away, get connection with the arm on your chest. We move our head away, we triangle our legs, we keep our top leg flared, that kind of acts as a frame to keep Andrew's head away from me. I pass off the grips, you can see I'm taking the slack out of the arm. So here I'm going with the thumb grip. I build up onto my elbow, the crease of Andrew's elbow is facing away from my hips. Raise my hips like we're doing a side plank, and then I pull the arm into my left hip to get the tap, along with arching my back. So 3, 2, 1.